The story of Shy Girl. Blaine Moos, who would later start the project Shy Girl, was a bookish child. In contrast to her party image, she actually spent a lot of her time reading and was fascinated by great sci-fi epics, Meg Cabot coming of ages, and Jane Austen novels. Shy Girl describes herself as someone who always delved into fantasy and was reading constantly, perhaps because as a child she was bullied at school. Even though Shy Girl has said music was never her plan A, she grew up surrounded by all different types of music, as her mum would play her music by great pop divas such as Kylie Minogue, Madonna, and Missy Elliott, and her dad would play her more experimental acts such as Aphex Twin, Bjork, Moloko, and Massive Attack. Growing up on a southeast London estate, Shy Girl was surrounded by strong, aspirational women who inspired her to reach higher and do better, an example that would eventually push her to become the head girl of her secondary school. Shy Girl never aspired to be a writer, but as a child that's what she spent a lot of time on. Whenever she felt sad, Shy Girl would write down what she felt as a story, saying that the drama of the act allowed her to drain herself of all her emotions. She would carry on writing throughout her teens, often writing short-form poetry or just phrases that she thought contained a particular beauty. A defining moment in Shy Girl's life came when at the age of 12, she was catcalled on the street, something that would later lead her to writing about owning her own sexuality as a woman and not having it forced upon her by men. In her teen years, Shy Girl made an important discovery when she first started listening to grime by acts such as JME and Skepta at the age of 14. She says that this completely changed her perspective on music and inspired her later rapping style, where she would try and fit as many ideas as possible into the fewest number of bars. She also started listening to garage music and East Coast rap like Biggie, saying that if she had started listening to rap music earlier, she would have started making music much sooner. At the same time, Shy Girl started listening to house music and Europop while she attended house parties with friends while in secondary school. At 18, she enrolled at a university in Bristol for a degree in film and photography while traveling back to London on the weekends for parties that wouldn't end until Sunday. It was around this time that Shy Girl became even more involved in party culture, where she started attending free parties in the woods, where she would eventually learn how to DJ. Shy Girl has stated in interviews how she sees herself more as a mixed media artist rather than just a musician, and that she is just as involved with the visuals as she is with the music. This passion for aesthetic came from her early years, where she was employed at many different photography and modeling companies. While in university, she was employed as a photographer's assistant and would later become the assistant of her future creative director, stylist Misha Notkat, while working with her on a shoot. She started working at a design agency as a career consultant and also had a position where she would help to rebrand musicians. The company would send her out to festivals, and at a club event in 2016, she met the producer that would change her life. Salvador Navarrete, who makes music as Sega Bodega, had been growing his profile as a producer for quite some time and had released several EPs and been a successful DJ by the time he met Shy Girl. They quickly became friends, and when Sega wanted to record her voice for a bit in his live show, she started hanging out in his studio more and more and eventually recorded her debut single Want More after he played her the beat. This song experienced moderate success, and Shy Girl's name started reverberating around online blogs and hype machines. Want More was released on the label owned by the music collective Shy Girl was a part of, Nuxi, which included Shy Girl, Sega Bodega, and Coucou Chloe, a producer and DJ from France. They started the label as a way of defining their music after they found they were constantly being misrepresented in the media and were being placed in festival lineups that made no sense. To quote, "I was like, if we grouped together, maybe people would understand. I knew that it would be great if we played together, so maybe people would understand that if they see us playing stuff out as a collective," and they did. Around this time, Shy Girl also quit her job at the design agency and started working at a modeling agency, which she didn't like as she didn't want to put money to people and quantify things that didn't have any quantity. In 2017, Shy Girl was featured in an ID article about her involvement in the inclusive LGBT-friendly London club night PDA. She said that she never really felt like she had any role models growing up, but when she met PDA's founders, Misha, Carrie, and Akin, she finally found her tribe. The nightclub was extremely important in introducing Shy Girl to the queer community, as she says she really felt at home amongst queer people who shared the same feeling of being bold in your uniqueness that she did. Her first EP, Cruel Practice, was released on the 25th of May 2018 and was produced by her friend Sega Bodega. The EP found viral success on sites like Pitchfork and helped introduce Shy Girl to a larger mainstream audience. Following the success of her debut EP, Shy Girl quit her job at the modeling agency and embarked on growing her music empire. In 2019, she released a handful of singles, including her breakthrough hit, BB, which was produced by by Sega and is loved by one of her idols, Bjork. She also went on a worldwide tour with her label mate, Cuckoo Chloe. Finally, on the 20th of November 2020, Shy Girl released her second EP, Elias, which includes the singles Freak, Slime, and Tasty, and was produced by Sega Bodega. The EP was lauded by critics online, being placed number 5 on the top EPs of 2020 on Rate Your Music and received a score of 7.5 by Pitchfork, and was included on the Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack and has now reached over 400,000 views on YouTube. Let me know how much you already knew about Shy Girl's story, and if you learned anything new, has it changed anything about the way you see her as an artist? And before I go, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.